What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here, and thanks again for watching another TCG video on my channel. What you can see over here is an Ultra Necrozma Malamar skeleton list. That means there's 52 cards on the table right here, and there's gonna be 8 slots that you can just put in whatever you feel like. I'm gonna give you all the options you have to make your own version of the Ultra Necrozma Malamar deck. This is kind of the staple or the things you will definitely need if you want to make this list. These are including 3 Ultra Necrozmas, 2 Dawnwings, 4 Tree Line of Malamar, 2 Tapu Lele, 3 N, 2 Cynthia, 4 Sycamore, 3 Guzma, 2 Choice Band, 3 Floatstones, 2 Field Blower, 4 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Ultra Ball, a Beast Energy, 2 Metal Energies, 8 Psychic Energy. So this is what's on the table right now. And in this video I'm going to talk about every single option you can try to make your own version of the deck. First things I'm going to cover here are the Pokemon. You can have a lot of tech Pokemon, and these are the ones I recommend. If you are afraid of a mirror match, add in a Mimikyu. Mimikyu is just so good, but with the copycat attack you can copy the opponent's Photon Geyser if they use it during their last turn, and then you can have the edge here because with 2 energies and a simple choice band you can one-shot opposing Ultra Necrozma GX. So I'm a huge fan of Mimikyu, so this is my #1 pick for one of those Pokemon. If you are struggling with late game ends, then Oranguru might be your friend here. With the indestructibility, you can draw cards until you have 3 in the hand. This can be a crazy option. We also have the Mew from Fate's Collide that has the ability Memories of Dawn, and that way you can use any attack of your bench Pokemon, actually basic bench Pokemon, which means you can try and use the attacks of Ultra Necrozma and stuff. Also it comes back with the attack Encounter to search your deck for a Pokemon, put it in the hand. Most of the times if you rely on that attack you get out the Tapu Lele, otherwise you will not be using that attack at all. Or maybe you want to sacrifice the Mew in order to get yourself the B-Strings, which is something I'm gonna tackle on later in the video. But it also comes back with a free retreat, which is a crazy option. You can use Guzma, promote to Mew, and with free retreat you can go back to your Ultra Necrozma, so things are looking good here. Also Lunala Prism Star is an amazing Pokemon with the full Moon Star. Lets you attach as many psychic energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like for every Pokemon the opponent has in play. This means if all your Malamars are knocked out during the early phases of the game, you can just get out a Lunala Prism Star. It's a basic Pokemon, I know it's a Prism Star card, but you can get it out the deck and start relying on full Moon Star to get yourself the victory afterwards. And then some more tech cards include Clefairy here. Clefairy is an amazing Pokemon with the Metronome, can also copy GX attacks. Just choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. So Clefairy here, a very solid option, but I would not try and include every single one of these. In my situation, I only pick one of these, so pick wisely. You can even take 2 of those. Also, Giratina should get a mentioning here because if you're struggling against Greninja Break, Giratina is an amazing Pokemon. Also, it has an attack that you can abuse in this kind of deck because it deals 110 damage, and that is actually kind of neat. It also has resistance to, of course, the fighting type, which is a kind of a dominant type in the format right now. And now you can just block Greninja Breaks while just attacking as well, because with Malamar it's easy to set up your Giratina to just has a 1 prize attacker, 130 HP. If you see a lot of Greninja Breaks at your tournament, definitely include Giratina. But in this situation, of all these, as you can see, these are all great Pokemon you can use in the Ultra Necrozma Malamar deck. I am gonna pick Mimikyu. So we're gonna state all the cards we are gonna pick. So you can also pick one of these. So you now have 7 slots remaining. In my situation, this could be different for you. It all depends on your personal preference. Next up, extra energies. I know in total there are 11 energies on the table right now. That is, or actually let's say 8 Psychics, 2 Metal, and a Beast Energy, so that is 11 in total. And I definitely should include 12 energies in the deck list. That is the most consistent list. I try out the Unit Energy. Unit Energy provides a Lightning type, a Psychic type, and a Metal type at the same time, which means you can attach this to your Ultra Necrozma, and it already will count for Photon Geyser's energy cost for the Metal Energy. Also, if you attach this to Dawnwings Necrozma, it counts for, of course, a Psychic Energy. So very consistent. The bad thing is that it can easily get Enhanced Hammered away, or maybe with the Slice of ability of Kartana, so be careful of that. In my situation, I definitely include another Metal Energy. So you have the option to rely on Unit Energy or rely on a regular Metal Energy. So we already included another card here, so we are already down to 54 cards. So now we still have 6 slots remaining. And next up, I'm going to talk about other supporters. In this situation, these are kind of a must. We have N, Sycamore, Cynthia for the draw support, and Guzma to target Pokemon. Next, you have the choice of running Lily, or Bridget. If you're one of those Bridget fellas and likes to set up their bench with a bunch of in-case early game, try out Bridget, although Bridget is not needed in this deck because this deck relies on 4 Ultra Ball and 4 Mysterious Treasure, which means you will always have the means necessary to get out your NK early game. And Lily, make sure if you used it, Tapu Lele early game for a Lily, you can draw cards until you have 8 in the hand. So this will be better than Sycamore in the early game if you have a hand size of 0. So Lily definitely a great card in this type of list. So if I have to choose between one of these, I would pick Bridget still, because Bridget can set up your Pokemon. Also, in the late game, when you have set up your Malamar and you still need that basic Pokemon and you ran through all your Ultra Balls and Ultra Necrozma, Bridget can also get out an Ultra Necrozma or whatever. It can get out every basic Pokemon, so that is definitely great. I always use Bridget in the early phases of the game so I can get Malamars on the second turn. Okay, now that we got another supporter in our deck, I'm gonna lay it over... No, I'm not just gonna lay it over here so you can see what cards that we included here, so the Metal Energy can just stick here. Next up, we are gonna talk about potential Stadium cards. The Stadium card over here is Parallel City. You can also try out Altar of the Moon to have free retreat on everything that has a Psychic Energy. That way you can lower your field blower, your Floatstone count, but I wouldn't recommend that. Parallel City is a very, very solid card. I would definitely try and put it in the list, but for now I'm not gonna put it in the list because I have so many cards to cover here. So in this situation, try out Parallel City. Even running 2 copies is a kind of a great option here, because you can slow down Zoroark build. You can even in the mirror match slow down the opponent, because if they can only have 3 bench Pokemon, they will need to dig for that field blower, otherwise they will be in a horrible position because they cannot bench their Pokemon anymore. Okay, talking about field blower, let's talk about the items. There is a bazillion amount of items here. First of all, I'm gonna give you the choice between these cards. You have either Max Elixirs or B-String. The choice is pretty much up to you. You could also not include anything and include the Lunala Prism Star for energy acceleration, but these are also kind of huge. In my personal experience, I'm a bigger fan of B-String, since B-String works for Dawnwings Necrozma and Ultra Necrozma, and if you have 3 in the list and you have that many draw supporters, you will always get one. Not always, but most of the times you will get one when the time is right, and you can just set up your Ultra Necrozma or Dawnwings Necrozma in no time. Together with Malamar, just B-Strings are just so good. So that is great. Also Max Elixir, this is not worth investing that much money in because they will rotate pretty soon. So in that regard, if you can choose between these or these, try and get the B-Strings. B-Strings are very, very good and will remain good for the rest of the season. And the Max Elixirs will work if you have more basic energy. So if you're running the unit energies, don't run the Max Elixir at all, otherwise you will be running the chance of just using Max Elixir and it fails time after time. So in my situation, I'm gonna put in 3 B-Strings. You can also put in 2 B-Strings. It all depends on your personal testing and preference. So in this situation, let's add in 3 B-Strings. So now we have 3 B-Strings, a Bridget, a Mimikyu, and an Energy. So that is 6 cards that we already put in here. Now we still have 2 slots left. So we came from the skeleton list and now we are over here. And these are the options I still have. First things first, you want recovery. Sometimes you Sycamore away all of your resources, all of your Malamars. That happens sometimes when you have TCGO shuffles. You know the drill here. Definitely have some recovery. Super Rod is nice because it can also recover your metal type energies, and that is kind of huge because without metal type energies, Ultra Necrozma is useless. So Super Rod is kind of the better version in my opinion, but if you're running maybe 4 metal energies, that could be the case. Try out Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher can get back your Pokemon directly into the hand, and sometimes that means a win because Rescue Stretcher can get a Lele back in the hand, and you know how it goes sometimes. Rescue Stretcher, Lele, Guzma, and you win. So one of these I'll gonna pick in this video. We're gonna pick Super Rod here because I don't think Ultra Necrozma works without metal energies, and sometimes I discarded my metal energies early in the game. So 1 Super Rod added, and now I still have the choice between these. If you run Lily, try out Nazball. That is the thing here, but we run Bridget here, the first turn Bridget, so I think Nazball is not necessary, but it's also an option in this deck. And then we also have a 3rd Field Blower, could help out a ton against Garbodor with the Garbotoxin, shutting down your abilities. With a 3rd Field Blower, you will have the advantage, and then getting rid of that tool card, so your abilities activate once again, Psychic Recharge, and even the Invasion of Dawnwings Necrozma, and of course the Wonder Tag. So a 3rd Field Blower could never hurt, but in this situation, I'm gonna add in the Professor's Letter because this one helps me out so much. It searches out 2 energies straightly from the deck into your hand. Why is this good? you can discard maybe a Psychic Energy with the Mysterious Treasure or the Ultra Ball in order to get them in the discard, in order to rely on, of course, our good friend Malamar. Also, if you smack this and you have a Metal Energy that you want to get out of your deck, this helps out as well. You have an Ultra Necrozma in play, use Professor's Letter, get that Metal Energy, put it in the hand, attach the Metal Energy to Malamars, boom, a Choice Band, and your Ultra Necrozma will be racking. Then you just retreat thanks to a Floatstone or anything like that, and it works out so well. So in this situation, I'm gonna add in this card in the list, and now we are at 60 cards. So as mentioned, you still have, you can change the list to your personal liking. You can add in maybe a Field Blower, a Nazball, Rescue Stretcher. You can even switch up the B strings for, of course, the Max Elixirs. You can try out the Parallel City, which is also a huge card. Maybe I can try this out. I'm a huge fan of Parallel City. You can maybe try Lily over Bridget. You can run Unit Energy. You can maybe go for consistency with Oranguru, Mew from Fate's Collide, copying attacks with free retreat, the Lunala with the, of course, Full Moon Star. This is a nice one because it's a fairy type, which means if you can copy something like the attack of, let's say, if the opponent only has an attack that deals 100 damage, you can rely on Clefairy and then you can copy attacks. And this is, of course, for the Greninja Break matchup. And that's it for another TCG video on the channel. We're talking about Ultra Necrozma Malamar and all the cards you can potentially include. Hopefully you enjoyed me going from a skeleton list to a full build list in this video and giving you all the options you have. Anyhow, this was Zapdos TCG. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to destroy the like button because you know I always appreciate that and it gives me the support to make better and more content for you guys. And also subscribe for more videos like this. Anyways, have a fantastic rest of your day and I'll be seeing you guys shortly in another TCG video. I'm out. Peace.